Donald Trump had threatened to do these mass deportations about a month ago, right? But there were agents within the Department of Homeland Security who thought, this is not a good idea, this is problematic. According to the Times, New York Times, agents have expressed apprehensions about arresting babies and young children. The agents have also noted that the operation might have limited success because word has already spread about how to avoid arrest, namely by refusing to open the door when an agent approaches one's home. Now, that is what DHS is currently concerned about. But they were also concerned previously because when Trump threatened to do these raids about a month ago, he put out these threats on Twitter, right? And so ICE agents were like, this is not a good idea. They're worried about their safety, but they were also worried that people would, leave the homes that they're supposed to be found in. But here's one thing that stood out. Last month, days before the operation was to begin, Trump forecast the plan on Twitter, blindsiding ICE agents whose safety officials feared would be compromised as a result. After he did that, Nancy Pelosi also reached out to him. And so Pelosi was like,
good.
Yeah, so Pelosi urged him not to do it. But Trump told her, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and postpone this for now on the condition that you work with Republicans in Congress to pass legislation that would get rid of loopholes when it comes to amnesty. Now, of course, we know he's not really concerned about loopholes. He just wants to make it increasingly difficult for anyone to be granted amnesty in the United States.
The loophole is that amnesty is a thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. For him, that is what the loophole is. Now, guess what? After that whole negotiation happened, what did Nancy Pelosi do? She gave Trump what? $4.6 billion.
The back of her hand?
No, of course not.
No,
never.
money?
Money.
Wait, but she's our leader in Congress. That's weird.
She's not much of a leader. So $4.6 billion to Border Patrol, border security, with no strings attached. There was nothing that would essentially be binding to force the Trump administration to improve the conditions at these facilities or these detention centers. So they got the money. They got the money with no strings attached. Pelosi, instead of attacking Trump for now saying he's gonna do these raids in 10 major cities on Sunday, she has been on the warpath against freshman Democrats like Representative Ocasio-Cortez or Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, for refusing to vote in favor of that appropriations bill, which, by the way, passed. Trump signed it, he got the money.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the 4, there were 93 Democrats that voted against it, close to as many Democrats as voted with Republicans in support of it eventually. No matter what, that back and forth that you just described between Trump and Pelosi was a product of some foolishness on the part of Nancy Pelosi. I hope that the foolishness is just that she believes that they will spend the money on the migrants, which probably won't be the case, but she thinks that they will, and that she actually foolishly thinks that the cruelty and suffering we're seeing at the border is principally a problem of not having enough funding, which is again not the case. That's foolishness. But if she actually thinks that she postponed it, like that he would have done the raids if not for her making that deal, that's insane. They didn't postpone the raids because Nancy Pelosi stepped in. They postponed the raids because he announced a massive undertaking that was literally impossible.
That's exactly
they could not have done it.
That's exactly
right.
You
can't deport millions of people. Like ICE agents responded, concerned for their safety. ICE leadership was like, what are you talking about? That's an insanely complicated, expensive process that would involve operations in literally every state. You can't just come up with that and then the next day we begin doing it. It was never going to happen. So she actually provided cover for him by pretending that he had backed off because he was dealing, it was bipartisanship. He backed off because it was insane and absurd. And if she had not provided that cover, that would have been more obvious to regular people.
That's such a great point. And finally, at what point do Democrats understand that bipartisanship in today's climate is not a thing? It's not doable. Like the Republican Party, and especially the Trump administration, they have no interest in working with you. They have no interest in negotiating or conceding or compromising. There's no interest in that. And so it should infuriate voters on the left or infuriate independent voters as well, people who don't identify as Trump's base. It should anger them that their hard-earned money is going toward enabling this behavior right now. And I get it, $4.6 billion is a drop in the bucket when you really look at the grand scheme of things, but it's still enabling Trump. It's an unprincipled way of going about this whole debate. And the fact that she just gives him what he wants when she has control of the House. Democrats have control of the House. They are supposed to serve as a way of mitigating Trump, and they're doing the opposite. It's so devastating.
Yeah, it's a way to seem like you're doing something, like you take it seriously, and maybe it'll help a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier than actually fighting him and making sure that you help the situation.
Exactly.
You know, the country was infuriated by what was going on, still is. I mean, Epstein has taken some of the attention away from it. Like, it was as if he had the leverage. He didn't have the leverage, he wanted money. You could have provided leverage. You could have said, okay, we'll give you $4 billion. We're also gonna shut down ICE and we're gonna totally kneecap DHS because it's out of control. Oh, you don't like that? Well, what are you gonna give us?
Right.
In return, they control half of the legislature.
I know.
But Nancy Pelosi acts like she got beat in 2018.
I'm going to reference Ryan Grimm again because his explanation for why establishment Democrats are so weak makes a lot of sense. She and Biden and other, establishment Democrats, they're worried about experiencing or re-experiencing what they saw during the Reagan administration. When Democrats really did take a beating in elections. But we're in a different time.
Yeah.
And if you're going to operate based on what happened in the 1980s, well then your antiquated way of going about legislating is not what I would consider master legislating. I mean, that's what she refers to herself. That's what establishment Democrats refer to Nancy Pelosi as. You are not a master legislator. You're not even a leader. A leader fights for the common good, and she is doing the exact opposite. She is enabling the person who violates that.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.